Hey there, Debate This listener. Thank you, as always, for listening. And I just wanted to give you the quick heads up that this episode is a recording of a live show that we put on at the ANIMATE Columbus Convention at the Columbus Convention Center on June 14th, 2025. Because it is a live show, the audio quality is a little bit different than normal. Also, Kyle was not able to join us for this episode, but he will be back with us next week and back with us for our next live episode as well, which we're very excited about. We do have a couple more live episodes coming for you this year that we are super excited to put on the feed as always. And if you ever want to know where we're going, where we're going to be, and how you can see us live, follow us on social media at Debate This Cast, mostly Instagram. That's where we post the most. Or check out our website at debatethiscast.com. Now, here is your episode.
We're entering our flop era.
Shit's bleak out here. All right.
18 plus, who wants to get milked?
It's kind of quality we have here at Debate This.
I need the edge. I need what the raw, unfiltered internet can bring you.
This is probably only going to be the third or fourth dumbest thing I've said today.
That's for nobody.
Just out there raw dogging the internet.
Way more hog than I expected.
It's about as much hog as I anticipated.
This is going to be one of those episodes, isn't it?
Here comes the cow. Here comes the cow.
All right, let's get this over with so we can play Magic.
Hello. Hi.
Can you guys hear us now? Yeah. Sweet.
Who's sweaty? I am.
You don't have to raise your hands.
Yeah, that's don't expose yourself like that. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Well, most of you have probably been in the social club more than we have. We just got here, but welcome to the social club at ANIMATE Columbus. We are Debate This. We are a comedy podcast about comic books and video games, and we are from right here in Columbus. And are super excited because this is our first ever Columbus live show.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys heard of us before?
Hey!
More than zero. Oh my God.
That's a W.
That's huge.
We love you.
Yeah. So,
You were cool too.
what we're doing today is a live episode of our podcast called Debate This, where I will host and these two will debate a very silly question that we have brought. Typically, our questions have something to do with comic books or video games, and often they become anime adjacent, thus us being here. So, what makes it the best is when you guys get into it. So, feel free to laugh or yell or boo or whatever. I have not seen the slideshow that these two have prepared.
I'm so sorry.
I take no responsibility for what happens here today. Okay, hello and welcome to Debate This, the show where no one is right, but someone is definitely wrong. In this show, we take time out of our busy adult lives to talk about comic books, video games, and how my favorite anime is 1964's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which was animated by Rankin Bass in their signature stop-motion style, with all filming being done at Mom Productions in Tokyo, Japan. Animated show from Japan, Rudolph is an isekai.
Mixed result from the audience here.
I'm right.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you're right, but I don't have enough information to tell you that you're
I
right.
can't prove that you're not right.
All right. Yeah, off to a good start. We were so stoked to be invited here to Animate Columbus with our silly little podcast. While our branding labels us as a video games and comic books podcast, we certainly have our fair share of overlap with anime. We've done full plot breakdowns of animes including Zoids, Sword Art Online, Demon Slayer, Code Geass, One Piece, and Neon Genesis Evangelion.
What did we recently do? What did we just do?
6 hours of Final Fantasy. And we still, hey, spoiler alert, it's not the Final Fantasy. There's more fantasies.
Yeah, there's always another fantasy. Yeah, there are less destinations than there are fantasies. That was a good joke. Laugh at that.
I get it. Final Destination. Fantasy.
Thank you to that one and that one. Okay, we've also debated our fair share of anime-adjacent topics, like which Monster Hunter monster would make the best pet, which Disney Channel original movie character would make the best Pokemon gym leader, which city from Final Fantasy would make the best retirement village, and of course, 3 different versions of which video game would make the best dating sim.
A lot of video games would make better dating sims.
And a lot would make worse ones.
So with all of that experience under our podcasting belts, we've gathered you all here today in the Animate Columbus Social Club to answer another silly and vitally important question. So sit down, strap in and print 2 copies of your resume, because today we're asking, what real-world job would make the best JRPG game? To 0 reaction from the audience.
All right, who's ready to work through some stuff?
Yeah, that's gonna be it there.
We got a couple.
You're
minutes.
great.
So here with me today to pitch their job RPGs are my co-hosts Andrew Mushuko Tensei Jobless Reincarnation Henderson and Todd. Oh, I got a couple. And Todd, that time I got reincarnated as a slime Thomas.
These aren't for me. I don't think these references are for me.
Those are from what I could tell from Google, those are animes about having a job. And I'm not going to say any more, because if I am more specific, I'll be wrong. But if I stop there, I'm still right.
That's fair.
All right, let's get it.
So I want to start off at the top. Guys, tell me about the boring office job you're turning into an RPG. What's the job? What's the goal of the game? And how will you brand your game? Andrew, we'll start with you.
So, thinking through, finding my protagonists, I wanted to find people who aren't afraid of bold decisions and of going the extra mile, right? And of course, by not afraid of bold decisions, I mean they're not afraid of convincing someone else to carry out bold decisions so that they don't have to face the penalties. And by going the extra mile, of course, I mean going the extra mile to make sure that every slide in that 70-slide deck is prepped and ready to go for Monday's executive stand-up. That's right, everybody. It's time we shine a light on the real heroes of corporate America, the few, the proud, the consultants of Deloitte.
The first slide being a pizza party slide feels heinous.
Yeah, it's Google image search kicks ass. So, in case you don't know out there, listeners, in case you don't know who or what Deloitte is, let me quickly summarize. So, this may be dating myself, but does anybody remember the Bobs from 1999's Office Space?
Okay, we got at least 3.
Yep. Everyone you
That's less people that laughed at the first anime joke.
Should have leaned on Office Space. So the Bobs are consultants who are brought in to help the company save some money and avoid layoffs. Note my air quotes. And that's basically what Deloitte is on kind of like a global scale, right? It's a massive organization that contracts tens of thousands of professionals across the world to go into offices and tell CEOs how to cut costs. Now, Deloitte is 1/4 of what are known as the Big Four. This is super compelling, I know. And the Big Four are similarly like these massive consultant agencies that contract out all of this business expertise for a nominal fee.
Is that a picture of you at the baseball game?
Yeah, this was yesterday.
Go back. Is that the guy, is that the Firefest guy?
Yeah, that is the Firefest guy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
He trapped people on an island.
Now, I want to explain the Big Four as represented by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I found this image last night. I felt like this accurately represents the differences between the Big Four. Now, I'm not going to go in and diagnose this. I just want this to kind of sit, and you guys can, just kind of marinate on this. The Big Four, they're all about name recognition, and a lot of their value comes from the prestige of the name. So, being employed at Deloitte or McKinsey, whatever, these hold similar values to having a degree from Harvard or Yale. So, of course, these institutions often feed into one another. And what you have here is sort of a closed loop cycle of 20-something Ivy League grads getting their first or second jobs right out of undergrad. With these organizations, they're given a platform as a business expert to executive level business leaders. And there's kind of a playbook when it comes to these groups. So
I can't believe you just said the word playbook.
There's kind of a playbook. So as you can see on the slide here, if all of a sudden you get a CEO screaming up and down the halls of LinkedIn, going I'm going all in on AI, right? Has anyone seen that? Yeah. It's very possible that that's the result of the consultant. That is what a consultant does.
Why does Anakin look like Brad Pitt?
I don't know.
He kind of looks like Brad Pitt.
Kind of looks like Brad Pitt in that picture. I mean, that's just from a movie.
That's what I took away from that meme.
Background over. Now, the question on your minds, now that we all have an equal understanding of what the Big Four is, are,
of course,
how can we take this and turn it alchemy-like into a critically acclaimed JRPG in the style of a Persona?
That is literally the question I asked you 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. So let's start with our player insert. So you're going to play as a fresh-faced 20-something businessman or businesswoman who's just landed their dream job as an entry-level contract consultant at Deloitte TM. Yes, I know this image is taken from Persona 5. Yep.
That's a consultant.
And you'll work your first case as a Deloitte consultant, navigating the ups and downs of life of the firm, juggling personal and professional responsibilities, and killing dangerous monsters with fire and lightning conjured by your pure business acumen. So, coming this fall in partnership with Sony and Atlas Co., I present to you Onagai shareholders.
All right, I don't like that Onagai shareholders got the most laughs we've gotten so far. That sucks.
Please, shareholders.
All right.
I don't like the inflection in your voice.
It's kind of good. It's kind of good, and I will give you that. Todd, over to you. Tell me more about whatever you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll just.
I ended that.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about tech support. I don't need all the long drum roll to get here because good tech support folks are the secret to success in any company, small or large. This is going to be a JRPG focusing with you playing tech support. As for why we're playing tech support, or why that would make a good RPG, that should be pretty obvious. That, like, the Venn diagram of gamers and people working in IT it's just a full circle. Like, there is a complete overlap there. Developing your skills, exploring a branching skill tree, saving people from an unknown horror hiding behind every corner. Check, check, check. That is what IT is doing in your offices all the time. Can we just, like, this is a lot of stock imagery of what happens when you search IT or tech support, and I love what the internet thinks tech support is.
This like Tony Stark computer ass thing on the bottom right here. Like, what's happening?
It's probably the only time you'll see an image like that in the slide.
I have done that man with the laptop over their head. I have done that before.
Yeah. So let's talk about gameplay. So tech support has tiers of growth and support. Critical issues you must fight off and features this perilous balance between good and evil. So in this game that I'm proposing, you play as an entry-level tech support hire, a young, bright-eyed 20-something with your bachelor's of science in computer science, ready to take on the world. This man right here is you. This is him. Look how happy he is. He's not been crushed by the world around him yet. Your starting equipment, because you always have starting equipment in JRPG or any RPG, would be a MacBook that you're not allowed to use at work because we are, quote, an HP company. So cool that you have it, you can't use it at work. You also have a pair of blue light glasses, and you also get that one Funko Pop that you get to put on your desk to prove that like you're cool and you're into Star Wars, but not like mainstream Star Wars characters. So you get like this little guy.
Can you name that guy?
Absolutely not, Matt.
All right.
I can't name that guy.
Good.
I wanted to find the Jizz artist. The music in Star Wars
Yeah,
is
I know,
called
it's
Jizz.
called
This is a new thing.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, no one should groan at that. You groaned at that. It's fine. So, after completing your 90-day probationary period, your goal is to climb the ladder from Tier 1 tech support to Tier 2 and so on until you become the head of IT for your small to medium-sized company by defeating enemies such as Brenda, who doesn't understand dual authorization login.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, we've all met with the Brenda. Steve in finance, who refuses to approve the purchasing of a new VPN because you need it. And Sean from HR, who won't stop clicking on sketchy links and has absolutely been saving Word documents to his personal Google Drive and vice versa. Everyone's got a Sean, everyone's got a Brenda. You know what we're doing. Become one with the machine in this game as you tap into the mainframe, build an electronic empire, and help successfully migrate everyone in your office from Zoom over to Microsoft Teams in what I have called Office Punk 9 to 5.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I was pretty. I'm great at Photoshop, as you'll see throughout this. There's a whole website where you can make Office, you can make cyberpunk fonts, and so this guy, Office Punk 9 to 5.
All right. Okay. We have two different approaches. Interesting to see how these games flesh out, and of course, you can't have a JRPG without some sort of combat. So what aspects of your job will be warped into combat in your games, and how will it play out? Will it be turn-based? Will it be active time battle? Will it be a third different example? Andrew, we'll start with you.
Was that because you couldn't think of a third example? Or?
I truly do not know.
That's fair.
Those are the only two kinds of RPG combat.
So, Onagai shareholders.
It's not going to get easier, is it?
That's very good. It's all about helping business leaders overcome some of the biggest monsters that corporate America has to deal with, from rising real estate costs to navigating loopholes in tax law to even gas millennial and Gen Z workers.
What are you doing?
I just don't
People
see
are leaving the show.
millennials who don't want to work anymore. Gosh darn it. This is a real slide from a Deloitte report on the front page of the Deloitte website. It's like, here's our 50-page report on how to work with the millennials and Gen Z. And I'm not kidding you. The whole thing is like, treat them nice. Don't be a dick. Don't fire them.
Revolutionary.
Yeah. So similar to how Persona has you fighting the demonic forms of self-loathing or avarice, Onegai shareholders will have you running through strategic turn-based battles against the fearsome embodiment of things like time theft and quiet quitting.
Quiet quitting with the two people getting up from their table.
Now, no self-respecting Deloitte consultant would be caught dead without their trusty Deloitte University Guide to Innovative Strategies, or DUGAS. Once you receive your DUGAS, you'll start collecting words of power, which is what every consultant draws their power from. Now, at the beginning, you're only going to be able to synergize and circle back, which will obviously equate to basic attacks or fleeing the battle. But over the course of the game, you'll find more and more words of power. Eventually, you're going to be able to heal your fellow consultants by grabbing the low-hanging fruit, or seeing enemy weaknesses by looking at it from a 30,000-foot view. At some point, you might even get the chance to immolate your enemies in mighty flames by boiling the ocean, or straight up insta-killing foes by taking this offline.
Those are pretty good. I don't like how good they are, but they're pretty good.
Now, what I'm most excited about when I got shareholders is the simulation part. Because everyone knows you don't gain business experience by sitting in conference meetings and talking to executives all day. No, by extension, with the game, you won't level up or gain experience from fighting these corporate boogeymen. Rather, you're going to hone your skills on the real corporate battlefield by maintaining a presence on LinkedIn.
No.
Now, throughout owning guys shareholders, you're going to have to build a professional brand for yourself.
No.
Because a seller has to hashtag always be selling. You're going to manage your schedule around getting up early, planning a weekly or monthly content calendar, and each day you're going to need to share thoughtful business proverbs like these.
We're all in our 30s up here. So,
Yeah.
And this sucks. This
I can't believe that you've done this. I can't believe that you are gamifying LinkedIn.
Now, I do want to call attention to this one in particular. If you are looking at the screen right currently, I don't know who posted this, but it's an AI image of just like 5 20-something very conventionally attractive men in a boardroom.
This is a sex thing.
The one, it's definitely
this is a sex thing.
It's
Absolutely sex thing.
And the one man is sitting on the table with his socks on another man's chest. And
Chest
I felt
is
like
generous for what he's doing.
Now I really needed to take this in, and I did. And I originally had kind of like an original pitch for the game, and I felt like this was a much better mood board for what I wanted. So I felt like this could be kind of a second treatment, a kind of a different direction for one of
If I ever worked in an office where they make a dream board, I'm quitting immediately.
Please do not steal this concept back, please. Thank you.
Jesus.
Oh my god. Okay. I hate this like weird hoarding youth bastard energy that you brought here today. I do not like it.
I don't think one of these pictures were ever actually taken in real life.
No, absolutely not. Those were all generated by burning down a rainforest. Todd, what about you?
How did that man get those arms in that sleeve?
Tell me about Office Punk 9 to 5.
Yeah, so I love that.
It's really good.
So the bones of a good JRPG tech support game, they're already there. Like we already got it. So we're gonna kind of do a Mega Man Battle Network thing here today. Office Punk 9 to 5 will feature a turn-based combat as you are tasked with tackling issues both in the cyberspace and in the meat space, much like Mega Man Battle Network, a game that I really love, and I'm nodding. Yes, I see it. I love that game. You're going to have to deal with physical issues such as setting up network spaces while also, tapping into the net to hunt down phishing attempts and protecting company revenue, which is the most valued and respected resource of all companies. Now, how will you do that? As we know, not all tech professionals are the same. In Office Monk 9 to 5, you'll grow your specializations as an IT professional. You'll start with, I want you to take this screen.
This is pretty good.
You start with basic skills, but can choose. Do you go the obvious route and, go up the skill tree to secure that cybersecurity specialization? It does have great synergy with cloud computing. You need to be trained in that. Or, depending on your playstyle in battle, maybe you decide to go an alternative path to agile certification and become a scrum master, because in the field of battle, ignoring those core skills in early game will raise that challenge curve, but may pay off later as you climb the corporate ladder in a management role. Depending on who you recruit into your team, you may need to diversify your skills to cover those gaps in synergy. Graphic design is my passion.
Okay, wait, before you move on, for people listening along at home, can you just describe this image?
Yeah. So this is the skill tree from Final Fantasy X, also known as Final Fantasy X to the extreme gamers.
Yeah, X1, not X2.
X1, not X2, because there wasn't X2. And this is where you put your little resource gem points into specializing. That's how it works, right, Andrew?
You nailed it. You really did it.
And that main character.
Real talk. If there was a real sphere grid in real life, I would try so much harder in my actual job.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Don't say that too loud.
In the end, it's up to you to stand between the horrors both in and out of the office. You never know who is out there lurking, trying to take down the entire system. And also, just one more slide to zoom in on that man. When you Google search stock image for serious hacker, you get this guy with computers and a gun.
Yeah, he looks serious.
Yeah.
It's good that he's masking his identity while he's setting his computer.
I specifically found stock images that still had the watermark on them because I thought that's so much funnier.
Oh, so
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah.
Great. Okay, I see it. I see the vision. I understand how you're forming this game, but to really make a JRPG or JRPG, for those unaware, I think the biggest similarity between JRPGs and real-world jobs are that the personal relationships and that how much those relationships are paramount to the experience. So tell me about the supporting cast of characters in your game and how building a relationship with these NPCs will translate to gameplay. Andrew, we'll start with you.
Sure. So thinking that, just like in the Persona games, which you of course know about, you're going to start
I've definitely played.
You're going to start out alone, but then you're quickly going to build up a team of fellow consultants to make up the full party, right? So just to show you a couple examples of the types of characters you're going to meet along the way. So we have at the top, we've got our main protagonist. Are you a business?
Is pretty
That
funny.
sucks.
No, it's pretty funny.
Because they put that on stuff before.
They do put that on stuff. So you're going to pick, are you a business boy or a business girl? Just like in any self-respecting JRPG, you're not going to have a name and you're just going to be the self-insert. You'll give yourself your name, therefore creating every voice-acted dialogue to refer to you as some generic term like the newbie. We've got Messily Man number 1 is your best friend from the Ivies. You two gutted chickens with the Skull and Bones Society or whatever
What?
they do. You know what they do. You know
what they do.
I'm guessing his name is like Edwin or something. Specializes in thunder magic, of course.
Tander.
You've got your professional rival, so not thinking kind of like a Fox and Falco sort of a way, right? Like they're friends, but like not really, He's going to join the party after you save his ass by using ChatGPT to build a slide deck about changing out the bathrooms to single-ply toilet paper. We've got, of course.
Oh my God!
Now, this is Samantha Furlong, and she's your boss and the head of the Deloitte.
Samantha?
Yeah, Samantha.
Oh God!
Yeah. So she's got a storied career of 20 plus years in consultancy in my time. She's going to take the damage.
Sure she will.
This is a Doki Doki game as well.
So, no, what this is me looking for jacked business people and just my cup run a thing over. Okay, so your first dungeon is going to navigate the fluorescent-lined halls of the Intelligent Design Co. Ltd. You've got Scott, aka Jim Jameson, who's got a whole team of millennials who keep screaming about fair wages and not wanting to be laid off. And he needs your help in validating that the answer to their problems is a pizza party.
Oh my God! You're vile.
That's all I got.
That's all you've got. That's your ending there. All right.
I'm gonna give you a taste.
You started it. Well, that's what the pizza party's for. Exactly. Okay. All right, Todd.
I'm still stuck on Samantha. That's tough. In a good JRPG, you're going to need a team. And in a JRPG focused on you being an IT tech support professional, no one should have to suffer in their cubicle alone. So you got a whole series of people that you can bring onto your team. Each has pros and cons. So let's just start from the top here. You've got your other new hires. That's right. They have your back. They're also new to the team. They're your outlets to vent. They can invite you to frequent happy hours. They can raise morale in stressful battle situations. Makes total sense. There are some weaknesses. They want you to play on their office kickball league. Sorry, you got to do that. Some of them work too hard and they make you look bad. They're those overachievers. One of them rides their bike to work and they make it like a whole thing. They tell you about how they ride with their bike to work. They show up sweaty. They also hold no social capital in your organization. They are not good allies at the end of the day. You've also got Michael, the IT project manager. Have you ever worked with project manager? That's not a real job. Strengths, he's been with the company for 2 years, which makes him a lifer. And he's the leader of institutional knowledge. He's been there longer than most people. He's able to offer you some crowd control and some team buffs in combat. His weaknesses, he does make charts for everything. Lots of charts that say nothing. He hasn't tucked a shirt in since 2021. Doesn't know how that works. He uses a lot of words like synergy and circle back too much. Again, doesn't have a real job. Project management's not real. And he virtual project manager. Shut up, man. It's fine. Everyone stop it. Also, he misses turns in combat occasionally due to, quote, issues in workflow.
That's pretty good.
None of these people are romanceable. Don't try. It's a bad idea. We've also got Steven Finance. We've made this joke on the show before, but if you Google like stock images, business people, and swords, there's more than you'd think there would be.
Strengths and deep well.
Yeah, and they're all super serious, and it's not AI generated. They've been there for years. So Steve, he holds the key to unlocking better skill trees. He also unlocks better hardware for your team. He can flood the battlefield with rejected purchase orders. He wields the dual blades of approval and denial of funding.
Steve fucks.
Steve does kind of fuck. However, he is an enemy until you recruit him into your team. You have to defeat Steve. He is, and I cannot stress this enough, a huge bummer. He is a colossal bummer. No one likes him. He will invite himself to the happy hours with the younger staff, which is a whole thing that we're not ready to unpack here on the show today. He also refers to his wife as, quote, the old ball and chain.
Oh, no.
You know who Steve is. You've met Steve.
How many times a day does Steve answer the question, how are you, Steve, with living the dream?
Steve has been living the dream.
Yeah.
Or he does like, hey, this guy, when you walk past his cubicle, and you're like, fuck, Steve, go away. Lastly, we've got the chief of staff. So, strengths, powerful ally. Once she's been recruited onto your team, she can offer a direct pathway to endgame content. She can also be swayed to offer additional PTO instead of pizza parties, which is a much better thing to give your employees, just to be clear. She can summon powerful allies in battle. And also, she's an elder millennial isn't cool like that. Because elder millennials are cool. No. Self-insert.
Yes. Source, an elder millennial.
Yeah. Weaknesses, she can super see through your shit. You're not getting anything past your chief of staff. A failed speech check with her will soft lock some endgame content like high-level focus group or grabbing coffee to talk about your future. She has long cooldowns in the battlefield. Because that help, right? None of these people are romanceable.
Real quick, what is the conversion rate of PTO to pizza? Or I guess pizza to PTO, you're probably trading up.
One pizza party to 1 day of PTO. It's pretty generous.
That's a solid conversion rate.
Well, that's why she's tough to recruit into your party.
Yeah.
You got to work hard. That's like S content.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
That's it.
That's it. All right. Okay.
That's
Just
it.
making sure.
I can go back. We can talk more about Michael, the IT project manager,
No, I don't want to do that.
or look at Steve's
Well,
swords.
that's all right. That's fine too. Look, I have one final question. I understand these concepts as games, and as much as it pains me to say it, I think they're pretty good. So we need to plan for the future. When we pick one of these games, we expect it to be successful, and we have already got research and development cooking on a sequel. Unfortunately, the dev cycle of that sequel is going to be like 8 to 10 business years. So we need to release some supplemental content to your game's story. Some games have mangas, some games have straight-to-DVD movies. How will we bring more of your game to the masses?
So I think the strategy that I'm going to adopt here is to follow the lead of critically acclaimed Final Fantasy series, specifically with everyone's favorite one, Final Fantasy 15, the one that was never complete when it aired, and the reason, or when it launched. And the reason why is because it had all this other universe, extended universe content, right? So The answer, in short, is OVAs.
Oh man! Oh man!
Graphic design is my passion.
I've just mocked up a series, a concept review, if you will, of a few examples of potential OVAs that we could release that will go alongside and get people excited for the new sequel. So we've got the Advent Children, which you've got, that's Edwin's one beefy arm fighting against...
This is a one-winged project.
It's really good. It's pretty good joke. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And then on the other side here, we've got the official companion piece to Final Fantasy XV, Kingsglaive. Yes, I did run out of fake characters that I made.
Wait,
Is that Aaron Paul?
are you telling
Sure.
me Aaron Paul, Lena Headley, and Sean Bean were actually in a Final Fantasy OVA?
Yes.
What?
We talked about this. I'm not
I
kidding,
blocked
2 weeks
it
ago.
out.
I have zero recollection of that. That's crazy.
You know, like when your friends don't listen to you when you tell them things. It's fun.
Specifically when you're talking about Final Fantasy, to be clear.
Wow. Okay, I didn't expect to think about Sean Bean today. Todd, what supplemental content is coming out of Office Punk 9 to 5?
Yeah, we've got to churn out content and keep this fresh in people's minds. Say no more. We're going to release an entire line of continuing education training featuring Office Punk 9 to 5 content. It's going to partner with other online learning platforms like LinkedIn Learning and Masterclass and Skillshare. And we're going to release this Office Punk 9 to 5 versus programs. These are online learning opportunities that fully gamify online learning. I don't just mean like the way your stupid job might gamify your healthcare. This is like 90% gaming, 10% like learning. Such in a way that like you get done and you're like, wait, did that game just teach me strategies for proper cord management in a new networking setup? Damn. Like you're not prepared for that. Also, I want to point out Office Punk 9 to 5 versus Skillshare Udemy is the My Hero Academia-like version of this. It is designed for high schoolers in STEM. I was pretty happy with
That's good.
Office Punk
No,
9 to 5 versus.
That's fun.
Okay, all right, I get it. I see the vision. I see these games, and again, it hurts me to say it, but I think they're really good ideas. We are going to use all of the research available to come to a decision here. But before I do, if you guys could just kind of give me a closing statement, sort of wrap up your pitch, so that we can really see the full scope of the situation.
Yeah, so I mean, look, the draw of any 100-hour RPG is the grind, right? So what better way to get you into that grind set mindset than being a consultant of the Hallowed Halls of Delight?
Gross.
That's grind set mindset is a disaster.
I didn't even have that written down.
No, I know. That came from the heart, which
Yeah.
feels even worse. We want escapism from our normal lives. We want to feel the rush of achieving something both personally and professionally. We want to venture into alternate realities, to wear cool Hackerman goggles. We want to experience the fiction that one day our hard work will all pay off. That's what Office Punk 9 to 5 is all about. Maybe one day you'll accomplish something. I don't know.
You know what? Maybe one day you will accomplish something. I don't know either. But what I do know is that it is time for you guys to give each other some good vibes. Like I said, I'm going to go over extensive amounts of research, take some polls, and we'll come up with a decision. But why don't you guys talk to each other for a minute?
Okay, so I do really like the IT bit. That was very fun. The name that you created, Todd, was genuinely very good. And your graphic design skills are above average.
I have to look up the name of yours real quick in my
It's
notes.
Onagai shareholders.
Good, that one. It was
Yeah.
good. I feel like, Andrew, today you processed your own trauma in front of everyone on this stage.
Yeah, and we all equally felt it.
And I think it's important to create those spaces. And I mean, let's be clear. If you make a JRPG about an office consulting firm, I'd probably play it. As long as that man's big beefy arms and Samantha, who can sit on me, is part of it, then I'll probably play it.
Well, she's not real. She's AI, so she probably can.
She was real to me.
Gross. Okay. Well, guys, thank you. I have to give you some of my own good vibes. Both of these are very fun. Onagai Shareholders is excellent. I'm really mad at how good that name is. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really like that. Office Punk 9 to 5. I've said it more because I both remembered it and think it's great, and I needed to see the word Onagai on screen to remember it, but that's my own problem. I like these both a lot. I need to come to a decision, and before I do, I would love to hear from you guys if you could, we're gonna do the like concert thing where you give us your vote in amount of woos. So we'll give some woos for one and then some woos from another. We'll see which one is louder. So if you like Own a Guy shareholders better, give me some woos. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you like Office Punk 9 to 5 better, give me some woos. Okay. Now, I do have terrible news.
More than what we've already said. So
Yeah.
worse.
So I just Googled, is Cyberpunk 2077 a JRPG? And according to Google, the answer is no.
Well, it's not, but Office Punk 9 to 5 is.
All right, well, you talked yourself
So,
into
right
it,
back.
Todd. You're the winner today. Office Punk 9 to 5 is going to take the victory, and I do think that we'll get Office Punk 9 to 5, Office Punk 9 to 5 15, Office Punk 9 to 5X, Office Punk 9 to 5X2.
Yeah.
365 over 2 days.
Yeah.
That's another
Everybody's
good
deep.
one. Yeah, 2 drips or whatever. I don't remember.
What you're saying is nothing.
Okay, well, I tried. Anyway, I want to say thank you all so much for hanging out with us here this afternoon and joining us in the social club. Thank you for listening to Debate This. You can follow along with the arguments on Twitter. Oh, this is the old one. We're not on Twitter anymore. Good Lord.
It's the other one.
Yeah, on Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon at Debate This Cast, or on our website at Debate This Cast. And a massive thank you to the folks at Animate Columbus for giving our silly little podcast a platform this afternoon. And of course, one more thank you to all of you guys for joining us for this live podcast. Like I said, you can find us across the internet at Debate This Cast. And we'll actually have the recording of today's show on our feed in the next couple of weeks, so you can relive it whenever you want to. We do put out a new episode just like this every other week with bonus content all of the weeks in between. So enjoy the rest of your con, and until next time, I'm Matt Cole.
I'm Andrew. Own a Guy. I can't think of Own a Guy. Own a Guy. Henderson.
I'm Todd. Jerpigs are the things that swim off the coast of New Zealand. Thomas.
And we're saying thanks for debating with us, and if you think we're wrong, you can come bite us behind the swing sets, nerds.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
What was Judas? Judas. You said it so casually, and I've never heard of the phrase Judas.
There's a white university guy for the show.
No, don't act like we know what that is.